Hello everyone, welcome back to Senthil Smart QA Hub. Now in this section, we are going to learn about concatenation, formatting the output and getting the input from the user and typecasting. First learn about concatenation. Concatenation means joining two or more strings together. In Python, we can concatenate the two strings using plus operator. Now we'll see the example for this. First name equal I will store James, and second one last name equal Thomas. I'll store Thomas. Now I want to concatenate this both strings. Print first name plus last name. Now let me run this. We got James Thomas. If you want to get the space after James before Thomas, here after the first name before the last name write 2 plus inside double quotes, give the space. Now let me run this. We'll get James space Thomas. So now we concatenated first name and last name using which operator? Plus operator. Now the plus operator will act like string concatenation. We combined multiple string into single string. Now next one, the plus operator works with different data types in Python. Suppose if you print 10 plus 10, we'll get output is 20. The both values are integers, so Python performs normal mathematical addition. Now let's add two floating point values. Print 10.5 plus 12.3. Now let me run this. See, we got 22.8. Here both values are floating point numbers. So Python adds the decimal values. Now let's try to add an integer and a string. Print 10 plus welcome. See, when try to execute this code, the Python throw the type error. This is because Python doesn't automatically convert the integer 10 into a string. If we want to combine them, we need to convert integer into a string using string of function. I need to convert this 10 into string using string of function. Then string of 10 with welcome will be concatenated. We'll get 10 welcome. If you want to give the space before welcome, you can give the space and run. We got 10 space welcome. Now we'll see how plus operator will work with boolean values. For example, here print true plus I'll give 5. Now what is the output is? So what is the issue is the name true is not defined because the true T should be in uppercase. Now we got 6. In Python, when you use boolean values with arithmetic operators, true will be treated as 1. False will be treated as 0. That's why we got true plus 5. True means 1. 1 plus 5, 6 we got. If I print true plus true, we'll get output is 2. Print true plus false. Output is, third one output is 1. True means 1, false means 0. So output will be 1. Whenever we use boolean values in the arithmetic operator, the Python treats true as 1, false as 0. When we use arithmetic operation, now we have learnt concatenation. Second one is formatting the output. To format the output in Python, we have 3 approaches. So we learn these 3 approaches. Now I will declare the variables name equal Alex, age equal 30, salary equal 15,000.50. Now we want to display these values together in a single output. For this, Python provides different ways to format the output. These are the ways: percent formatting, dot format method, f strings. Now let's start with first approach, percent formatting. Percent formatting. This percent formatting like C programming language format style. C programming language format style. So here in the percent formatting, we use different format specifiers. First thing, percent s string, percent d integer, percent g floating point. For example, here I want to print using percent formatting, print name is, I want to print name. What is the data type of name? String. So percent yes. Age is integer format. So here percent d. Salary is floating point. So here percent g. Close the double quotes. Then percent mention that variable name, comma, age, comma, salary. Now close the print function. Now let me run it. See here the output, name is Alex, age is 30, salary is 15,000.5. So Python will replace us each format specifier with the corresponding value. This is an older formatting techniques, but you may still see it in existing Python code. Next one, we are going to see the second approach, dot format method. For dot format method, we use curly braces. Dot format method. For example, here print name is, we use curly braces. Age is curly braces. Salary is curly braces. Close the double quotes, then call dot format method. Inside the method, we can pass the variable. What are the variable name? Name, comma, age, comma, salary. See here, unlike percent formatting, we don't need to specify the data type inside the placeholder. We don't need to specify the data type. String S, integer D, floating point G. We don't need to mention the data type. Next one, F strings. F strings. F strings. F strings is a very simple and readable way to format the strings. For example, here print name is, then curly braces. So directly within the curly braces, you can mention the variable name. Name. Age is, then mention the variable name within the curly braces. Age. Next, salary is, mention the salary variable name within the curly braces. Close the print function. Before formatting the string, mention F. Now let me run it. See here, we formatted the output. So in order to format the output, we can go with these three approaches: person formatting, dot format method, and F strings. Now next one, we are going to see how to get the input from the user. To get the input from the user, we use input function. We use input function. Now we'll write the code for input function. Now I want to fetch the name from user. For example, here I want to fetch the name from user. Name equal input function. Input function. Inside the input function, I'm going to mention enter your name. Now let me run this. See here, whatever you mention inside the input function, here it will display enter your name. Now it is waiting for user input. For example, here I am going to enter the James. Now the James will be stored in the name variable. If you want to display that value, we can print that variable. Print. Now I will format the output. F. Here my name is name. Now let me rerun this. Enter your name. So I'll give James. Now the James will be stored in the name variable. Then we are printing the name. My name is James. To get the input from the user, we use which function? Input function. Example, here I want to add two value, and these two values input fetched from user. Example, here input, enter the first value. I'll store it in the A variable. Next one, input, enter the second value. I'll store it in the B. Now I want to add these two variables. Whatever the user will enter, print format, output is A plus B. Now let me run this code. See here, enter the first value. I'll enter the 10. After press enter, it will ask the enter the second value. Now I'll give 20. Now I'll press enter. See here, the output is 10, 20. The value is concatenated. The value is concatenated here because input function will fetch the value from the user and it will store as a string type. See here, we can check the type of A. Print type of A, print type of B. Now let me run it. 10, 20. See here, whatever the value we entered, 10 and 20, which type by default it is taking? String type. In the input function, by default it will take as a string type. Now, if you want to number, we need to convert as a number type. So here for converting number type, we use int function, int of. Here also int of, int of. Whatever the input function will fetch the value as a string, that string will be converted into int type. Then int value will be stored in the variable. Now let me run it. Now 10, 20. Now this time, now the value will be converted into integer type. That's why we got 30. So this is how we'll get the input from the user using. So how do you get the input from the user? Using input function. It will fetch the value from the user and it will return as a string type. So if you want to convert to other type, we have to use the typecasting. Now we used int function. Similarly, you can use for float function, and you can use for string function, and you can use for boolean function. Float function to convert to floating point. You can mention string function to converting string type. Then you can mention boolean type to converts to boolean type. This typecasting convert from one data type to another data type. So input function will receive as a string data type. You are converting into integer data type. So converting from one data type to another data type is called as typecasting. For example, here I am going to convert 0 to boolean value, boolean of 0. What is the output will get? False will get. Now I want to convert 1 to boolean type. Print boolean method of 1. So what is the output will get? True will get. Because in the Python, true means 1, false means 0. So in this section, we have seen how to do concatenation and formatting the output, how to fetch the input from the user, and typecasting.